Hi, hi guys, it's Troy Torres here. I'm with Dennis and Lena Rodriguez, and we're strolling around Yigo because, well, let me explain the purpose of this. First of all, we are asking if any of you can donate a food truck to the Catholic Church here in Yigo, to Father Paul Gofigan. And we're going to explain why, and we're going to show you why. So I don't think that many of us realize the extent of poverty on Guam. And when I say that, I mean, I don't know that many of us realize how many people, how many kids go hungry on this island. And so we're going to go to a couple places, just a couple places out of many here in Yigo, to show you the conditions. And the reason that I asked Lena and Dennis to take us is because, well, number one, we love them and they're our friends, but they know this place. Lena's from here. Dennis is from Dededo. We won't hold that against him. But Lena's from Yigo, but more importantly, the work that they do. See, they founded the Total Guam Foundation a few years ago. And over the years, it has built up to be this organization that has come to focus on really just basically the needs of the underserved, the needs of the poor. It started as this whole, we're going to get vaccinations to students thing, but because of the great need and because of it isn't just when you meet these people, you can't ignore that they need more than their kids being vaccinated for school. These are people who are literally thirsty for water because they don't have water. They're hungry. They don't have proper sanitation. They don't have restrooms in their homes. The only thing that they're eating, if they do have food, if they do have food stamps, if the food stamps program has not canceled them out because of this, that, or the other thing, well, they're only going to eat canned foods because they don't have refrigerators to keep chicken and beef and fish cold. They don't have, if they do have the burner stoves, they don't have money for butane. This is a real issue. And so after the typhoon, it was really the Total Guam Foundation that met up, or that they didn't even, it wasn't even a planned thing. It was just every day they would meet up with the American Red Cross, and they would provide for many of the needs of people who were forgotten over the Zero Down subdivisions. One of the places we're gonna go today. And so Lena and Dennis, they know this stuff, and they've agreed to take us. Say hi, guys. Where are we heading to first?
We're heading to Gilbreeze.
Gilbreeze, okay.
Yeah. You can never imagine Guam has areas like this where there's no running water, no sewer line that you're connected to. Yet these kids, they go to school here. This is DL Paris. They go to DL Paris, they go to other public schools. But then when they go back home, they don't have the luxuries that we kind of sometimes take for granted, right? But even more than just the water and the sewer infrastructure, these kids depend on food. Depend on school. The free lunch program, right? So they go to school every day. They get their breakfast and lunch there. But when they go home at night, that's when kids don't have. A lot of kids on Guam don't have meals. Right, on weekends or on holidays, like now we're in a Christmas break. Yeah. Don't have.
There's a real concern that there are a bunch of kids who aren't eating right now.
Absolutely. And so, what you're doing in getting this word out, and really helping with the Our Lady of Lourdes with Father Paul in setting up like a food pantry, right, or like a food.
We just basically want to feed kids. Yeah. I mean, not just kids, but I'm sorry, feed families that don't have food.
So a lot of the effort has been on the homeless, which is good. The people like in what is that organization that does it in the Ganya?
Oh, Kandit.
Yeah, Kandit. These are for the street homeless individuals that come there, or people that just need a place to eat, but not realizing that within the villages, there's families, there's kids in there that are in the same situation. Just because they have a roof over their head doesn't mean they have food every day.
And so the important thing about, there are so many important things in trying to provide services or trying to help, right? But one of the important things is transportation. So the Chamorro Land Trust, that's for basically the homeless people that are in Agania, and they're able to walk over to get food. So when you're talking about the boondocks of Yigo or Dededo or Inarahan, wherever these places are in Guam, right? If you have a food drive, or if you let's say, so I went to Father Paul and I was like, hey, Father Paul, I was thinking maybe once a week I could cook something, and like I can get some people from Yigo and we can like cook something once a week for people to come to the church and just eat. They can just eat. And he said, Troy, that's a really good idea. God bless you and everything. We've thought about that before, but the problem is, how are these people going to get to the church? And so these are part of the things. When the poverty's out of sight, out of mind, we don't even think that far, right? About these transportation issues. But you guys know about the transportation issues at Total Guam, because when you have your outreach clinics, when you have your clinics, and you have your clinic in Tumuning, right? And you don't go mobile, but you say, hey, come to the clinic in Tumuning, you can get all of these free services. I'm guessing that many people want to come, but they just can't.
That's right.
Because of the transportation.
So that's why we have the mobile clinic, and then we go out regularly. We schedule areas like this area. We come out and park. We'll show you where we park and set up. We come there at least once a month. Gil Baza area, we do the same thing, and we're trying to do it more regularly now because of assistance we got from, believe it or not, an outside organization, the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. They saw the work we did post-typhoon, and so they said, they wanted to help us continue that, and so we're able to do that. But going back, Troy, to the food, right? So a year and a half ago, because we've seen what you've seen, the people out here that it's not just the medical or the social services that they need, but the food. And so there was a great opportunity. We thought that the government, through the Guam legislature, they passed this law that took money from the refinance bonds of the government. There's like $3 to $5 million, and directed public health go out and do food commodities, right? So we thought, hey, that's a great opportunity. So we, and I think other organizations, submitted proposals, and in our proposal, we included to get vans, so that we can be providing. We'll work with the kitchen, do hot meals 3-4 times a week, and deliver it out to these areas, because we knew these people can't drive to the mayor, even to the mayor's office, or drive to the fire station. It's just, you can't. I mean, look how far it is.
And it's a very long walk.
It is. And so we said, we'll get these vans, and we'll deliver it to these homes or to these areas where we know the needs are. Unfortunately, nothing ever happened to that. I don't know where the funds went for that, and so
we'll follow up on that.
And so a lot of people, I think, know the situation, the problem, but it's really it takes people like you. I mean, when you said let's go out and do this because of what you're doing, it just takes doers, to be able to really make it happen. So I'm glad that we're able to do this. And then right up the hill here, where we set up our mobile clinic, when we come up, right across the street is where the water supply is. So, and when we come out here and we park and we watch the residents, and you'll see the residents here, everyone has a tanker, a tanker, water tank, and they have it in their trucks. You see them lined up here, just filling it up.
On a spigot?
On a spigot, yeah. Can you imagine having to do that on a daily basis?
That's like actually one of those, that's straight out of one of those commercials of feeding the hungry people in Africa. Yeah.
So this is the area, this bus stop is where we park. We park on the other side. So right here, this is where they collect their water. You see how they have that
just that one faucet?
One faucet right there.
Are you able to go down the road? That's where everybody gets their water. And how many families estimated are in here?
There's over 100 homes, I think.
More than 100 homes. That one faucet.
Yeah, these are multi-generational.
So this is where we park our clinic, and
So, you know, because we've gone
is this
into
like
the depths
year
of
two?
it,
Go through.
right? And we do have also some patients we see here regularly, but one thing that they'll tell us is like, just go to the bus stop, and that's like Grand Central Station for this area,
Yeah.
because they got to get water.
Wow.
You know?
So what we've done, that's why we have this truck, is when we have the mobile clinic out there, we will use this to come and pick them up and bring them out here. And then
Okay.
there's even some homes here where we, on a regular basis, our nurse practitioner comes out and sees that patient here.
Like
And you can see it's just a tent, a canopy. Their flooring is just like this.
Is this is someone's home right here?
Yeah, so a lot of them you can see are starting to rebuild from the typhoon, right? Post typhoon, it was like completely, everything was flat.
How about? I'm guessing there have to be some people in here who are physically disabled.
Oh yeah, so the people the one patient at least is bedridden. So he's in a bed, and so we come out here. Up a day.
Hi.
How are you? Getting ready for New Year's? You getting ready for New Year's? You getting ready for the New Year's? Take care. Ooh.
He made a cannon just like when we were kids.
Right?
But right after the typhoon, all these trees were down. You can see the ocean is beautiful. The view is just beautiful.
So
Look
you
at- look
see,
at all
Troy,
these
look at all the
homes,
water.
Tony.
Look at all the water tanks. All those on the back of the
Look at
trucks.
blue.
Yeah, and even there, you see that truck, the white water tanker. So a lot of them have, but they're right here. A lot of them have that.
So families live.
See some of them? So they have
Yeah.
so they can't say like, well, these are private properties, they can't do anything. This is where we would park sometimes, you know, when we're out here, and just stay in the truck and have lunch, just looking out.
So this is someone's restroom here,
Yeah.
Yes.
and this is more like a luxury,
Yeah,
right? Because some of them don't have this at all,
that's right.
Right.
because they don't have sewer here.
And you can count how many of that in this area, like it's so few.
So what do people do to use the restroom if they don't have one of those porta potties?
Oh, they dig a hole.
We've
Oh my
seen one.
gosh.
I've seen them. They'll dig a
We've seen it
hole.
in Gilboas. I don't know. I haven't seen it here, but I know in Gilboas that's what we've seen. And they have this plywood just covering it.
So this is an area where there's a concentration of poor people, and so when there are outreaches, you know, it becomes a little more convenient for the people doing the outreaches. I want us to think about all of those other places, especially Chamorro Land Trust areas, that are similar to this, but there are just a few families in these areas, in these, you know, out in the boondocks areas, and they're not getting those services. They also don't have transportation. It's much harder for organizations like the Total Guam Foundation to be able to go out and go to all of these different places. And so that's among the reasons, you know, getting this food truck into the hands of Father Paul Gofigan so that he can lead this, you know, food outreach effort here in Yigo, at the very least in Yigo. And I know this happens everywhere else, but Yigo's pretty poor, and we need to start somewhere, you know?
I'll check her first. So we're just driving with the church, the Our Lady of Lourdes Church, with Father Paul. He's trying to get a food truck so that the food truck can be used to, you know, distribute food in the area. You know, so
to understand like the situation that a lot of people are in throughout the island. And so, this subdivision is one of the places that we're going to show people, because a lot of people just don't understand that people go hungry. And I was wondering if I could interview you about just your being a resident here,
Sure.
the extent of offering would that be okay? Sure. What's your name?
It's kind of up and down, but I like it up here because it's quiet.
Yeah.
And at least think that you own something. That, you build your own house.
So you built this place.
Yeah.
What you bought was the land,
Yeah.
and then you built this place with your family. How many of your family members are here?
There are 6. Yeah. I have 4 children, and me and my wife, and I have 3 friends.
Oh, congratulations! Yeah. What is life like financially?
Oh, it's pretty hard. Yeah.
Can you explain what's been going on?
It's just kind of hard with things now that it's very expensive. Yeah. And with buying stuff to build, but it's gonna work out a little bit where how you call it. You don't buy rent anymore, but because you have your, and all you need is just buying food and,
Is it getting difficult to buy food?
it is getting difficult. It
And-
is very getting difficult.
You have power, so you have a refrigerator
Yes.
and stove and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you ever talk to any of your neighbors here about the situation that they're in?
Well, not really. Just my neighbors, but they experience the same thing. Next door neighbors.
Any of them find it? Do you see them struggling even harder than you?
Yeah, I know some of them are leaving the island or going to the city.
Because they just.
They just couldn't afford it anymore.
I know that in some places, I'm not sure if it's the same here. If there are any homes here like this, but in some places on Guam, people don't even have power, so they cannot keep their food cold. Do you have? Do you qualify for at least the supplemental nutrition assistance program?
I was on it. That's what really helps out a lot. But the last 3 months, a little bit, misunderstanding between. On the paperwork. So I'm applying again. I think really helps out. But yeah,
So all your food that you're buying now is out of pocket.
yeah.
Is there anything? Do you feel that there's anything more that the government or the community can be doing to help in situations here?
Well, during the typhoon, a lot of people come out, like him, came
It's for the
out.
Guam Foundation.
Yes, came out, and it helps a lot. But I don't know about the government because I haven't really. I saw them. I think they need to do a little bit more better than to go through like mayor's office and so more. Because I think it's just pretty hard now. That's all I can say. Yeah.
I noticed you have a water tank. So one of the problems here is you
Water.
don't have running water.
There's no running water.
How do you deal with using the restroom?
It's pretty hard. Yeah, it's pretty hard. The only thing now that the water is free, you go out there, but you have to go get it yourself.
The faucet. You're talking about that little
Faucet,
faucet
yeah.
that's at the front,
Yeah.
right? How do you put this on a truck?
Yeah,
Do you see
Every
this,
day.
the water tank there?
yeah.
Every day you have to do
Every
that.
day you gotta go out there and get water.
How do you carry that?
Well, we have the tank, and then you pump it down from there.
I see.
Yeah.
So you take those blue ones,
Yeah.
and you fill up the blue ones,
Yeah.
and then you
Just
pour
gotta
it on
transfer.
top.
Yeah,
And that's for your running water. That's
Yeah.
for your drinking, shower.
yeah. Well, basically, shower, drinking have to go all the way out to the store out there.
For drinking water.
Yeah.
Because you cannot use the.
I
It's
don't.
not safe.
I don't believe in that running water to drink it.
You don't trust that the water is safe. Yeah. I get you. I understand. I don't trust it either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can help us with the running water.
Running water.
Yeah.
And in what about the food? Because the purpose of this video that we're doing is to get someone to donate a food truck to Our Lady of Lourdes Church, so that Father Paul Gofigan can do food services for people who don't have food. Is there anything you want to say about that?
Well, I remember when I first moved in here, 2016. It wasn't like this over here. It was a really small community. And I remember all my children, I have 4 children that time, they all have present from the church. And now it's getting, the community getting bigger. I'm not sure. I haven't seen them going around. But the lady down there always helps us around, an old lady down there.
Which old lady? Oh, down where?
It's just down the road from here. She's the one always going to the church and help us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you know her name?
I forgot her name, but I'm sure. I think she owns a lot of land here that she's selling it out. Sure. I forgot her last name. But yeah, she was the one. I think she's getting older. That's why she doesn't really get going out anymore.
Okay.
But before she always go house to house here.
I do have a question. And you said over the last 3 months, there was a problem with food stamps, and so you haven't been receiving food stamps.
No.
May I ask you if any time in the last 3 months there was a day that went where your family didn't have enough food?
Yes. Yes.
Does that happen a lot?
Happens a lot. Yeah.
Do you guys have food right now?
Well, we have to live with like chicken almost daily basis. Yeah.
Do you have rice?
Yes, we
Yeah.
do. My daughters help me out here and there, but it's kind of hard.
Do you have drinking water right now?
I do have a little bit drinking water there.
But are
5
you
gallons.
you have 5
Yeah.
gallons for 6 people.
Yeah.
So you have to conserve.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Boots.
Thank you very much for coming. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Something else. I just noticed something. How do you feed your dogs?
I have a brother-in-law that always bring in he works in a store,
Yeah.
but they're like leftover.
Yeah, they bring the.
This thing I think was somebody's own, and
The dogs look so happy though.
Troy's he's a dog lover. Him and Timmy.
this one is I just believe this one being abused by the owner because
Oh.
it scares of every little thing. Yeah, even scare of the neighbor's duck.
You ever share your food with your dogs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
leftover.
You guys hear what he was telling me about the days that they don't have enough food?
Yeah,
Is this a pretty common thing that you guys see?
absolutely. We hear that, and yeah, we hear that from a lot of them.
How do you deal with that emotionally?
It's draining, especially for the team. A lot of them, because they're the ones that come out and see them directly for medical services. When they come back, we feel for them because they say, hey, look, there's X amount of kids in there. They don't have the proper nutrition. The babies, the kids, the adults. The food is here and there. So every time we could, as a group, we try to come back and provide what we can. We get other people to provide what they can, but it's just not sustainable. We need to find a solution that could address it and make it sustainable. Because let's be honest. Holidays come around. That's when a lot of people, that come out. They're very giving, right? And so there's a lot of drive to do that, and it's always certain times of the year. But what these families need is a consistent, sustainable way of living, just like we do, in our homes, in our families.
not worrying about food
That's right.
every day.
That's right.
It sounds like he's, for the past 3 months, he has been worried about how to feed his family.
Yeah.
And he still manages to feed the dogs too.
Yeah.
So, oh,
Okay, well, first of all, I want to recognize Troy, Tammy, Johnny, the Kandit team for this effort. You know, when they reached out to us and said this is what they want to do, they want to be able to work with Father Paul over at Our Lady of Lourdes. We said, gosh, this is you know, that's a response from God, because a lot of people have been praying about being able to address some of the issues. That's just, you know, food scarcity here is one of the issues. The water, the infrastructure are the others. But for this particular issue, you know, we're asking anyone out there who is able to provide assistance to Troy in the program that is going to build with Father Paul in order to be able to provide food to our families in the northern part of Guam. Please do so. You know, in the spirit of giving, it's Christmas. But really, just for us to all do our part to be able to make Guam really that special place that it is. So, you know, Troy will be talking about the you know, what exactly they'll be doing, but we know this is something that's needed. So thank you.